Welcome everyone to today's stream. We will be joining a talk by the creator of REX in just a few moments. Thank you for your patience.
There is this REX Shill group, I think it's pinned, the REX Promotions group, but the name of it is, I think it's REX Shill Team or something like that. And they give quite precise instructions on what to do. You can just follow the group and you will see all the new tweets that the people do, because basically they tweet, they comment, they like, and then they share that in this Shill group. And all you have to do is become a member of this REX Shill group that is linked in the REX main chat, and just comment and share and retweet, and they even help you creating a profile if you don't have one. So the instructions are: you just make a quick Twitter account if you don't have one, and you get a REX background. They will make a cool design for you, and you just start sharing the content, and the other Rexicans will follow you as well. So this is getting quite a movement in this situation, so that you have several followers quite immediately, and all you have to do is just retweet and like, and I mean, the best thing would be you also go to other conversations about staking tokens, like other protocols, or people talking about passive income, and maybe, kind of shill it. Just inform them that there's something like REX on Binance Smart Chain, and link the cool videos that we have, so people get an impression of how professional this project is. Yes, and just connect to other people and inform them about the project. Just create some awareness and use the hashtags. That's quite simple for everybody to do. Just be online for 1 minute to 5 per day, and just share some of the content there. That is very effective. And this basically made us trending. Of course, it's also the foundations of the project itself, the tokenomics, the token economics, and certainly as well the brand that we created. And I think it's quite easy for the people to understand that this is not a regular pump and dump token, but it's a long-term game. It's very important to use the protocol what it has been designed for, right? Like you create staking ladders, maybe bulk stake, try to trade them on the DEX, get more tokens, and especially we've seen that in other staking tokens, it's very important that you collect those shares. That has made the early hexagons millionaires, basically. So that would be the game in REX. That's what I would assume, right? So that's what you have to do, I think, to use the protocol in the best way, and also that's what we've always said. Buy the dips. That's basically what we want to do in this bear market. Maybe not even only REX. I mean, people who haven't had Bitcoins before, or Ethereum, BNB tokens, whatever, it's a very good time for new people to enter this market. We might see some downtrend in the next month until we re-enter the bull phase. That might absolutely be the case. So, and that's also why it's so interesting to see REX at the moment rising so hard. That's a very positive sign, of course, because people always buy green charts. And after we launched REX and had this very peaking high in the very first days, because REX has been announced for a month and people have been waiting to enter, and then we have seen the correction, of course, and we went down for some days. And that is very hard for people to estimate when will the bottom be. And obviously we went under the value that REX actually has. So now we are correcting back up. Maybe even correcting in the next weeks and months to the value that it actually has, which I think is surely several $10 million as a value, as a project itself. That's what I would call it. And maybe we just go of course, in like those waves with corrections all the time. Like when you look at the Bitcoin chart, it goes up in 3 years waves. I think we will see that in REX as well. But then, of course, going to something like $1, maybe, or maybe even 5. The next bull market will, of course, be much bigger. That's what we're all expecting, right? Than the last one. So this would lead to maybe even REX going higher than $1. And this would, of course, be brilliant. So when you enter REX right now and you join the auctions and you maybe receive a big payday and you allocate REX tokens and possibly just stake them for a year, or yeah, when entering the auction, stake them for 222 days to be eligible for big paydays, of course. If you don't know what that is, just read it in the paper. Just read it in the summary that we have for you in the REX.io website. There are some quick links. Check all of those links. It's quite interesting. There's so much good content right there. Explanation videos, tokenomics videos, how to enter crypto, what is a wallet. We have all of those things. You just use that and get educated, educate yourself. So you will be quite familiar with what is staking, what's the benefits, and so on in quite a short time. Yes, and then you will understand why the staking protocol is so good for long-term building wealth. And if you do it right, for how you will learn how to create passive income. And the mechanism in REX for creating passive income is basically the I was just thinking of a new game. I'm saying basically so often. We should all have a shot of vodka or something when I say basically. That would be fun, right? I can't stop saying that. I don't know why. So we should do that in the next AMA. Just have a shot of vodka. No, of course we shouldn't. We should all be healthy. We should absolutely all be healthy because I think REX is a protocol with a very bright future because the foundations are so good. And for the first time in the REX history, we have a very well, perfectly, smoothly working protocol that is unbreakable. So this is a very comfortable situation right now. So everything that we can say to the whole crypto community out there, we can speak with 100% confidence now. And this is such a good feeling, right? So when you see REX now in this bear market, we're going up a little bit at the moment, which is good. It's a correction from my perspective to the value that REX absolutely has, but it hasn't shown its value. Its real value in the right in the beginning, in the bear market. We now have the awareness and yeah, that we absolutely should have. So what you do in REX to create passive income is create those stakes. And then, of course, you can create them in a revocable way. That's just a flag that you can set. Irrevocable or revocable. When you do it revocable, you're able to withdraw already earned rewards from your active stakes, and you can withdraw them. So that's so beautiful. That's a clear improvement from old staking protocols that we have seen. There is this one big example being the first certificate of deposit staking token on Ethereum. Like 2 years ago, they started. It's called Hex, and Richard made it. And they did a lot of marketing in a very special way. And maybe people say that from time to time. Maybe he used some of all the Ethereum that he kept from the auctions to maybe buy his own token and to boost it a little bit. But anyways, Hex made it to a value. Let's talk about market cap that was beyond $50 billion. And that's quite a number. And no matter the marketing, I think it just shows that this long-term staking protocols are quite powerful and interesting to the people. I mean, certificates of deposit have always been a topic in traditional finance. And building wealth, whatever they promise you, it just only work in this way that you do long-term commitments. And people doing that get higher rewards. That's why we have in staking longer pays better, right? So when you do a 10-year stake, you get 3 times the shares than just doing it for 1 year. So longer pays better. And this is the only way to do it. If you just are if you're told that you could have a protocol with an APR of 100,000%, I've seen this recently. Of course, it's ridiculous. It doesn't work at all, because the token inflation always must be in the range between, yeah, basically 0 and 20% something, so that it's sustainable. And REX is something that is precisely 12.9, which is a good number. That means that our token supply after the auction phase, where we mint a lot of new tokens for the auction participants, which is great as a fair launch. That's what we would call it today, a fair launch mechanism for 222 days. After that, we don't mint any more tokens, and the only tokens in REX that are minted are by the inflation of 12.9% per year, which is not that much. That means that our token supply will 20x in 25 years. And 25 years in crypto is like forever. It's like 3 lifetimes or something like that of usual people. So this is really a good foundation that we have right there. And yeah, the mechanism, as said before in REX, would be that we create stakes. Yeah, short term, long term. Anyways, create stakes and maybe create some of them revocable, so we are able to withdraw staking rewards from time to time. And then we can decide what we do. We could restake them. I had an AMA with Callie last week. Actually, it was this week. And there were some very interesting staking strategies in it. She suggested that when you create a stake that is revocable for 10 years, you get a lot of shares. In best case, of course, you use a T-Rex, so you get another 25% more shares. And then you will be able to withdraw staking rewards from your stake, like after 2 or 3 years, which is already more than your initial staked REX. So in this way, you could withdraw all of those staking rewards and stake them again for another 10 years, and then again withdraw them after 2.5 years. So in this way, you would kind of compound your REX tokens. You still have the old stakes going, which is very interesting. You never lose this principle. So it will be available for you in 10 years after you started it. So this is really a very long-term thought. That's absolutely right. And the other thing which is so beautiful is, of course, in cryptocurrencies that we see very high price rises as well from time to time. And I think we will see that in REX as well. REX is clearly, I mean, the charts are out there, those comparison tables where you can compare the single features of the HEX token and the REX token. I think everybody knows that I was a very early Hexican. I participated in the HEX auctions in the very first days, and I always found it a good idea to do this kind of certificates of deposits and go for long-term building wealth. But there were some things in HEX that were discussable. Like every second token was minted to the contract owner or to a certain origin address. And every time there is some penalty from early ending stakes, also the tokens go to 50% of the tokens go to this origin address. And what they did is every auction participation sent Ethereum. They kept all of it. There were no big paydays or something like that giving back to the people, no BUSD referral or like ETH referrals giving back, or this treasury that REX has. None of that existed in HEX. And what I thought was, together with a friend, basically, we figured all of those things out. What to improve to make it a perfect community token, where all the tokens belong to the community, and there is not a founder's address where he or she might or might not take all of those tokens and just dump them or sell them anytime, or maybe the contract owner dies and the people who come after the person just dumps them for whatever reason, the heirs. I don't know, such things happen, or they lose their keys, or I don't know. So it should be a fully decentralized version of HEX with lower fees, of course. That's why they built the Pulse chain, I think. We have that already on Smart Chain. cheap fees. We have those better auctions, I think, because of the big paydays that we have on daily basis. It cannot break. There can be like millions of big paydays per day can be processed by the smart contracts, which is amazing. We have very good randomness. Okay, some people must join the auctions and have to then stake their tokens and get their referral rewards and interact with the contract so that this random mechanism works very good. That's a prerequisite, it's a requirement so that the randomness works very good. We've seen that in the past, that when there is low participation, the randomness isn't that good. But when there is good participation, what we see right now, rising and rising, or we've seen that in the very first days of REX, it's very good randomness and it's unbreakable without using this oracle mechanisms, which would be a third-party risk. We don't have that, no third-party risks in there. So this is quite clever what we do here. And coming back to this comparison chart, you can absolutely say that REX has a lot of advantages, a lot of more flexibility than those, what I call it, the very early basic staking tokens like HEX, where you basically just can stake and that's it. You can't name it, your stake. So you can't keep the purpose. Maybe you want to stake for a car or for somebody's birthday or anything. I was just speaking about the HEX and REX comparison. And just to finish my thought, when you go through this comparison, I mean, for the usual crypto staker or staking protocols user, or even if you're new to crypto, you can easily understand that the REX protocol is more flexible for the users. You can withdraw your staking rewards while the stake is active. You can send your stakes, you can split them, you can name them, you can do a lot of things with those stakes. And of course, that's very interesting, gives the people just more flexibility. So in terms of technology, in terms of low gas fees, it's much better for mass adoption right now because using HEX is very expensive. Of course, they have some built on top things, so they can deliver some of the features as well. But in REX, it's all built in already and triple audited. We've seen another feature that HEX recently added. I think the name was Dodeca, and it somehow was a I'm not quite sure, actually, to be honest. I think it was rug pulled or a scam. It was a scam. I don't know. It's just maybe anybody from you knows that or has all the information. I just saw that it failed. And some of the Rexicans said that, but I'm not quite sure about it. I'm just saying that all of those things that HEX can do for you is built in Rex already and triple audited. And by now we can say it's absolutely safe and doing exactly what it should. And of course, we're very excited for the decentralized exchange for the stakes to open very soon, just in a few days or weeks. This will be very exciting for DeFi, how that will work. Basically, you can imagine that being like an eBay for stakes. You can offer your stakes for a certain amount of money and for a certain period of time. And anybody out there can just, in a decentralized way, buy them. You create an offer and everybody can just see them on the website and buy them. And if you hold an MREX, you don't pay any fees as the buyer. Only the buyer pays a fee, which is 2% of the stake's price that the guy or the girl who offered it wants to have. 2% on top is the fee. You don't pay the fee when you have an MREX, just one MREX. That's another use case for the token, right? So we will see how that plays out. I think it will be beautiful because it's like unleashing the full power of the protocol. So that everything will be there and fully functional. We've tested that in testnet. It works very well. We've seen that. The website is already prepared. It will automatically list those things and offer you to list your stakes if you're willing to. The only requirement when you want to offer a stake, and you could offer any stake, revocables, irrevocable stakes with T-Rex, without all of your stakes that you have in your list, you can just offer them for any price that you want to have. And the only requirement you have to meet when you want to offer a stake is that it has already passed 10% of its staking duration. So you can only offer it when let's say it was a 100 days long stake, it must have passed 10 days already, like 10% of the duration. So you will be able to offer them. That's the only thing. We made that because people couldn't just create a lot of stakes and just offer them right away. They should have them for a time. And so that means if you withdraw interest already, you can't offer them any longer. I think those are the two requirements. They are, of course, they're in the technical white paper, which is on rex.io/paper. And of course, linked on the, like everywhere. Yes. And I think those flexibilities for the people and the low gas fees that we have and the sustainable tokenomics that we have is surely a good reason to absolutely assume that REX can be something in the market cap area of what Hex has reached, which would be several $billion. That's what I think, because the certificates of deposits idea on a blockchain with this flexibility is surely worth a lot.
Thank you for joining us. We hope that you got a lot out of the stream, and please remember to subscribe on your way out. See you soon.